So my name is Yolanda Alvarez, and I am an empowered parenting coach. I work with parents, and I work with parents, supporting them with the challenges they face with their kids. One of one of the many biggest challenges that parents face is the amount of time that kids spend on devices. So today is day one, and today I'd like to cover. Today's challenge is decode to detox. So in order to come to that point where we are detoxing and what that means, I will share that with you. We need to first decode. And what do we mean by decode is we need to understand what got us here in the first place. What are we really facing? What are some challenges that our kids are facing? What are some challenges that we are facing? We'll also be going to address some of our inner fears. So our biggest fears around what we unconsciously or subconsciously feel that our kids are going to face if they continue to be um, challenged and they continue to be addicted to their screen. So let's face those challenges on this journey, because when we face the challenges, we start to realize that, and we voice them out, we start to realize that some of those challenges may not even be valid. So we might be putting in a lot of energy. So some of the challenges could be that, is my child not going to succeed in life? Is my child going to have problems in their relationships? Because I can see at the more times they spend on their devices, the more anxious they become, or the more up and down their mood swings are. They are so unpredictable, and it starts to concern you. Are they going to be this way in their relationships tomorrow? Or you might be finding that they are very unfocused and very distracted. So let's bring out those fears and let's uh, address them. Let's talk to them. It could be that you think that my child is going to be a failure in life because all they do is spend time on games, which is making them emotionally unstable. So let's go there, let's address them, and let's really see our child for who they are, and put in a plan for who we want to be uh, on our parenting journey. Who do we want to see our child as, and what are our aspirations for them, and how can we talk to them, and how can we parent them from what we are seeking to create, which is that confident child, that child who has a path ahead of them plan, who is stable in their emotions, who can be trusted, who can feel confident in themselves, who has a balanced self-esteem. So let's start creating that vision of the child we want to create and we want to raise. And let's start speaking to that child. But before we do that, we need to know who we are as a parent. How do we want to show up as that parent for that child? And who we need to be for that. So, but before that, we need to know what those fears are and what are those gaps coming in the way. Lovely. So what is this journey? What is this journey towards digital detox? We as parents are always doing the best given the knowledge we have. So think about yourself, think about the challenge that you face, and recognize that, or really become curious and question, am I doing the absolute best given the knowledge I have right now? I want you to put it in the chat box in our live, and tell me if you doubt this. So say doubt or say yes. In this moment, given the knowledge that you have, where you're at, given even the fears that you have, where you're at right now, I want you to acknowledge, are you doing the absolute best for your child where you are at right now? And I would beg to differ if you say no, because we are always, I do believe, I know I am always, and I know the parents that I work with are always doing the best given the knowledge they have right now. It might be that you're angry with your child. It might be that you are getting frustrated. It might be that you are doing things you're not proud of. But I want you to acknowledge at the outset that you are doing your absolute best given the knowledge you have. And now I want you to think about, given the knowledge you have, what is the result that you are getting as a result of this? So is it that you have become an overbearing parent because you're putting in boundaries, you're putting in limits, your kids are not listening, it's making you frustrated. It's then leading you to use language that you're not proud of and is causing a resistance and a barrier between you and your child. So some of you parents with older kids might be able to resonate with this a lot more, but some of you parents with younger kids might think, maybe we are not quite there. However, you want to come in here and get and learn what you need to learn and know what you need to know before you get to that challenging state. So the next thing I'm going to ask you is put in the age of your child in the live, so I know where the parents in this group are. So for those of you who are watching a replay, just put #replay and tell us how old is your child. Lovely. The next thing I need for you to do is to make sure that all of you have your workbook, because we are going to be following through with your workbook. So all of you are given workbook. Kay is going to put the link to the workbook in the comment section of the live on our page to make sure that everyone has a workbook in front of them so that we can be doing today's first challenge, which is on our on the day one of the workbook. Lovely. Lovely. So give me a thumbs up if you're on track, if you put the age of your child in the comment section, and if you've got your workbook in front of you. Lovely. All right. So what we do know is that digital devices have a huge detrimental effect on our kids. Their state of mind, anxiety, depression, according to research, is telling us is closely linked to excessive and addictive usage of digital devices. And I know it's hard for our kids, and it's hard for us as parents. It's so easy at times to just give the iPad or give the phone to our child because it keeps them occupied, satisfied, and even very content. So let's acknowledge that out of the goodness of our heart and our best intentions, we gave our kids the cell phone, the iPad, so that they could be focused on something, so that they can connect with their friends, and also possibly because you had then the convenience of contacting you. So it could be safety reasons that you gave it to them. And maybe you thought that you could use it to teach your kids how to be responsible, because guess what? In our world today, our devices are the most important thing. It is part of our everyday life. So we wanted to teach our kids to be responsible, and also allow them to have that power to control their use of technology. But here's what really happened. You unwittingly, without any guilt, no guilt on you, so no judgment, you handed them an addictive device, possibly at the height of their social insecurity for kids with for parents with kids who are at that age, 10 and over, at a time when their identity is being shaped and swayed by social media, by forces beyond our control, and while even possibly their hormones were changing drastically. And as a result of this, their heads are constantly staring down at their phone, furiously texting their friends. And let's face it, their friends are much more important than you are at this age and at this stage of their lives. So you'll find me luring towards age and stage. These are two different things. Your child might be 15, 16 years old, but really what stage of development are they is important. Your child might be 8 or 9 years old, but they might be very mature, very technically advanced, very so the stage that they are at, where they are at, is key and important to keep in mind. What are our kids exposed to, there's tens of thousands of images and videos and concepts each day that cause chaos, that there's that much information coming at them. And unfortunately, some of our kids are also exposed to material that they should not be. Porn, for example. They don't know how to establish boundaries with these. So many of our kids are not able to put down their devices, and it is controlling and dictating their moods. It's causing them to have mood swings, anger, anxiousness, social anxiety. So I'd like you to put in the comment section in the live and share with us, how is this device affecting your child? So for those watching us straight up on the live, we mentioned before, and for those who have joined us later, we have prizes here. We've got sponsors who have sponsored us books, powerful PDFs, coaching sessions, and we have prizes today for parents who are the most interactive in our group. And we also have prizes for parents who will be doing the homework and putting it in the group. So we're really excited about what we've got going today. Besides the sponsors, we've also got a prize bundle valued at $299 that we are sponsoring each of the days. So all you got to do is be active in our live, and to make sure you submit or put in the homework tasks that we will talk about towards the end of today's live, which are also in your workbook. Lovely. So what's happening now? Could it be that you are now even afraid to restrict your child from going onto the phone or their devices? Because if you do, your child will freak out. They will yell, or they will give you the silent treatment. Could it be that you're actually afraid of how your child's going to respond? You, as a parent, are afraid to even put boundaries because you are afraid of the meltdown you'll have to deal with. Is this you? Let us know. So while the advice is all out there that we are having to, take phones away altogether, or restrict the usage of devices to certain times, maybe we are putting parental controls in place, and in some cases we are removing addictive apps on their devices like TikTok, Snapchat, or games that are highly addictive. But what's most important is that what we are doing to make all of this effective is that we are giving ourselves skills, the parent skills, to understand themselves. And that means understanding our own patterns, understanding our own reactions, asking ourselves questions. What is this? Where is this fear coming from? What is the intensity of my reaction? How effective is the way I'm responding? How effective is this? Or am I saying and doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a new result? Am I being too forceful? And thus making our strategy ineffective. Beautiful. Just going through the comments here. And beautiful. Lovely. So here's a brief of what we have as our prize bundle. You get an hour session if you've already got a package that you're already on. You can add that on for our winners. You also get a copy of my book, and you also get the PDF 5 steps to raising emotionally resilient kids. There are more prizes to be won. We've got 7 Steps to Your New Life, sponsored by Marcus Ross. We've got Melanie Taylor, Success on Purpose, with her success session for you. And we've also got Who Am I, which are some novels that my gorgeous friend and coach Teresa Everton has written. There's 2 there. There's one for adults and there's one for teens. If your child is a teen, it's great for you, support you with them. And if they're not yet a teen, it's also great for you to get this knowledge so that you can be ready for what is coming up. Lovely. Today's challenge is the Decode to Detox. And now we are going to jump onto our workbooks. And we've got lots of facts and numbers there on our workbook. So does everyone have their workbook with them? So we've included some stats in our workbook, which is telling you that 89% of young people have indicated that mental health is a big issue for them with the amount of time they're spending on devices. So the studies we've picked up are those that are done on kids themselves, and there's good reason why we've chosen that, because what we are here to tell you is we are looking to get our kids buy-in. Kids are well aware of how detrimental the effects are on them. And some of our kids are resisting us, which is why they don't want to know. However, what we want to do is to get them to jump on board with us supporting them. Young people have also indicated that sleep is being affected, and younger kids are also parents are telling us how kids have nightmares, and kids are struggling with their what we call creative minds, and over creative minds that are not allowing for them to be rested enough. Kids are also struggling with study, with being able to focus, and are easily distracted. So all of those facts and numbers are on your workbook. There's also a section here that helps you to see if your child is up for a detox. Are they stressed? Are they anxious? Are you seeing the signs that are mentioned on here? So I'm not going to repeat that. It's all in your workbook. Make sure that all of you have got this workbook. I can see Aubrey saying she's not able to see this link. It could be that you're not yet a member of the group. So just make sure that you are on Facebook and you join to be a member, and Kay will accept you in straight away so you can access. So well done. I can see parents putting in comments. Good job, guys. You are in for the win. Well done. Well done. Beautiful. So to decode to detox, we are going to, so why is this a challenge for me? The reason why detoxing is a challenge for us, and some of you will say the challenge is because my kids are challenging me, my kids aren't listening to me. But what I'm here to say to you is that the challenge is because we have underlying fears. So what might some of your fears be that need to be addressed? What is your worst case scenario? So I'm shortly going to open some forms that we received from parents. We had a form from Julianne. We're going to go through that. Well done, Julianne, for sending that through. And we also had a form from Fortune. So for parents who would like their forms looked at, make sure that you use the link to put in your form. Don't do it now. Do it at the end of today, so we're not spending time and we can focus on today's activity. Lovely. You are also, so there's, as part of this challenge, we're going to ask you to put down 3 new things that you have become aware of today. So another opportunity to put in the comment section. What are 3 new things that you have become aware today, and what are some action steps you will take as a result of today's challenge? Lovely. All right. So I am going to jump into the form that we have received today. So thank you, Julianne, for sending that through. Lovely. So what she says is that she is struggling with meltdowns. So anybody else in this, in the parents group, where your biggest challenge or one of your challenges is that you are not able to, or your challenge with the meltdowns that your kids have when you tell them to get off their devices? Are they getting overly upset or angry when you tell them time is out? What is happening in your home? Tell us about your challenge. Put that in the comment section. And she says that it is difficult. They are setting boundaries, but it is still hard for them. What she would love to do is limit screen time for good reason. And she is facing challenges in terms of anxiousness, tantrums. And just to let everyone in the room know, Julianne's kids are 7 and under. I don't know if they're older now. Julianne, do let me know. But from memory, they are 7 years and under. So she's got 3 boys. Yes, Julianne?
So Hugo's 9, nearly 10
No
now.
way.
And Archie's 7.
Oh, wow. There you go, 9-year-old already. So so nightmares will be a big one around this age. Is that right, Julianne, from an overactive mind?
Yeah, definitely. Like,
Yeah,
not wanting to go to sleep, they start talking about all the scary things that they're watching.
Right. Lovely. So over creative mind. Beautiful. So I'm going to ask you, so thank you for sending that in. Are you, so be completely honest, because until and unless we're honest with ourselves, we can't really have those breakthroughs. How consistent are you with your boundaries? What I mean by that is times. If you said this time to this time, are you sticking with it?
Yeah, I would say we're not consistent. Between my husband and I, we're not consistent. And even
wonderful. And what's the challenge with being consistent?
Two things, like either we are doing something, I'm doing something while they are watching and I'm not finished, or they just
lovely.
So much, you kind of like they just keep nagging and asking, and half the time it's just so you don't, you have to put
Beautiful.
up with.
Thank you for your honesty. I love that. Yes, so we are challenged, guys. We are, and very valid reasons there. So as much as we would love to beat ourselves about, oh, we should be consistent, I'd like to say I hear you, and if we want to make progress, let's look for ways in which we can. So when we make something a priority, so for this week, I encourage you to make this a priority so that we can start seeing the results. So being consistent with the boundaries that we set. Maybe you've got too many boundaries and too many limitations spreading out through the day. Bring that to either 1 or 2. So it could be the 1 hour or whatever the time is. And also it could be the no screens at night, maybe after 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Just have those 2, for example, and stick to it for this week. Being consistent with your boundaries is really key for you, Julianne, and all the other parents as well who can take this on. The second point is offer an alternative option, because when you say a no to something, we should be saying else to something, yes to something else, and something that they desire, that is attractive to them. So again, be creative and see what does your child already like, what can you be doing for them, and what options can you be offering them. Maybe it is have playtime in the park, maybe it is go for a swim if you're in a warmer country, or it could be play a game of football or something that they want to play or something that they want to do, something. So if they're saying no, there needs to be an equal and opposite yes for something that they desire. The next point for you is parent modeling. How much time are we, let's be honest, how much time are we spending on our devices? If we have set a limit for them, have we set a limit for ourselves? If we have said no phones at dinner time or screens to be put off after, say, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., are we doing the same thing? So parent modeling, what behaviors are we modeling ourselves? The next step is get them in on the planning. So if, for example, you're offering them an alternate option, or you have, they might say, I'm so bored if I'm not on devices, I'm feeling bored. Have it on the fridge, start 3 different options that they can be doing when they come to this stage where they feel they're bored, and discuss this with them. So get them on board with setting those plans. What is that? Is that something that they have agreed to? So get their buy-in where you can. So it's not, I'm on this team and you're on that team. No, we are on the same team. Let them feel like we are on the same team. The next one is connection before correction. Have you established connection with your child before you are correcting them? Where can you bring in opportunities to connect with your child? And where is there a balance between the amount of connection and the amount of correction you are putting forth in your home? Connection would mean times where you spend one-on-one time with them. No devices, just the 2 of you. It could be you waking up a little bit earlier in the morning and hopping into bed with them, reading them a book, meeting their need for connection, so we can tick that box off. Are they things you are putting in? Maybe when you pick them up from school, is there some one-on-one time where you are completely present with them? So you're ticking that box up for connection. We cannot, and I cannot assert enough, we cannot be putting forth our ideas and correcting behavior if we have not had actions in place where we are connecting with them on a deeper level. And the next point for you is awareness of our own parenting, awareness of our own beliefs around rules and regulations, and what's being put onto us, how we were parented, and realizing and recognizing what is pertinent for today. You find that there is a big gap in how we were raised, and many of us have been parented with authoritarian style of parenting, and we can't apply that onto our kids. So there is a gap. Let's become aware of that gap. Wonderful. So we've shared those with you. Make sure that you put in the comment section what is one tip from today, if not more than that you are going to be taking away with you. So what we've shared is being consistent with boundaries. Tip number 2 was to offer alternative options. So making sure that you have, if not a list of options that you're saying yes to when you say no to devices. What modeling are you doing? How much are you, the rules that you have, the limitations you're setting up for your kids, how much are you doing that for yourself? How much time are you spending on your phone, on your devices? How present are you with your kids? So parent modeling is a big one. Get them in, get their buy-in on setting those plans for to see what you want them to be doing. Connection before correction, connecting, making sure there's several points of connection, or at least 2 to 3 points of connection during the day when you are completely present with your child. And the next tip is on awareness. How aware becoming aware of your own parenting style, and where are you projecting that onto your child, because your child is being raised in a completely different time, completely different um, um, age, where devices are so key to our day-to-day lives, which was very different to where we were. And also addressing fears. What are some innate fears that you have? That what's the worst thing that you believe is going to happen to your child if they stay on devices? And then we're going to work through, is that really true? Is that something, is it, or have we played it out and overplayed it in our minds, that we have become now an overbearing parent, which is not allowing us to foster the connection, which is so key to us and to our child's development. Beautiful. And with that, that's day one of our challenge. Remember, we've got prizes. We will be posting at the bottom of this feed in our group, the winners of our day one challenge. There will be 3 winners. We're going to have 3 winners every day, and you win for putting in the most amount of comments. You win for putting in submitting your homework, and you also win for sharing with us what are your takeaways, your biggest takeaways from today's challenge. Okay, if you can put those 3 there in the comment section there, so parents know what are the price points today. So make sure you have done your exercises in your workbook, and make sure that you have put in your questions in the jot form, in the questionnaire, parent questionnaire, so I can address your challenge with you for tomorrow when we come on at the same time. Thank you everyone for joining us. And there's also going to be a link where we are offering parents, those who would like to find out about our program on day 2. Actually, tomorrow we will share with you details about our mastery program, our emotional mastery for parents program, and some special offers that we have going on. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.